welcome to this week's car news, number 6. And let's start with Formula 1, because both Haas and Williams have released their F1 2018 challenges. And we're going to start with Haas first, because they released it first. And briefly looking over it, they've really nicely concealed the halo. I mean, they haven't kind of highlighted it in hot pink and said, "Oh my god, look how ugly it is, they've kind of camouflaged it, which is really nice. So let's have a look at another picture of it. Yeah, so look in these two pictures. It really reminds me of the previous 2 years. I mean, if we look at 2016's first, they've got white on the top and then black down the center of the nose cone, and then red at the actual front wing itself, and then also some red on the rear wing as well. So if we go back to here, you've got the kind of red stripes down the front, and the rest is kind of grey black. Yeah, and if we look at last year's car, it's all very grey black. They've still got the red kind of nose. So yeah, they've kind of used the leftover paint from the previous 2 years and produced this. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't actually look that bad. I mean, I was expecting something, you know, classic, old, dreary F1 car, but, you know, it looks decent. It's not actually that bad. And then there's a top view. We can't really say anything except from that's Haas, and it's number 20. And then here, just in front of the rear wing, there is it's very hard to make out, but there's almost a mane, kind of a horse mane, going down the back of the engine cover of the Haas. I mean, if we go back to the first photo, you can see where the number 8 is. There's a very dark mane there. So that's a very nice little touch, because I really loved the shark fin and was very annoyed when they said, nope, we're getting rid of this. So, you know, they've kind of bent the rules a little bit. Well, they probably haven't bent the rules, but, you know, they've said, alright, we'll just add a little bit on the back just to kind of remind us of the good old days of the Halo. Williams now. So Williams have stayed with the same old Martini livery that was very popular from the previous year. There's a couple of pictures. Yeah, here you can see the mane is a lot more visible. They've made it a lot longer. Once again, the halo kind of camouflages into the rest of the car. And looking at this, they've really changed the size of the fuel box, the side pods. They've really changed the side of that. Looking overall, it's a nice looking car. I mean, I don't know. They've stayed with the same old one from last year, so that hasn't really changed at all. Looking at the side, yeah, you can really see it. The side pods have changed very drastically shape. Yeah, this is a perfect view where we can see the mane of the car. Where the number 18 is, there's a very nice mane down the back of the car. So yeah, it's not bad looking, and yeah, but then from this angle, the halo, it looks a little bit bad, but you know, you can't change it. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, you know, it's just like last year's, just with a few added body bits and bobs. Now, interestingly, the UK could soon introduce a tiered driving license. Which, because I'm currently doing my driving lessons, this is very important to me. I haven't actually looked at this. I opened it just before starting recording. So essentially, it says, so it's, you can have different driving licenses. Yeah, so like school, you have year 1, year 2, year 3, depending on maybe your age or your knowledge, and you have different tiered driving licenses, which means you can drive probably different things, or Yeah, in an effort to cut the number of collisions involving young and or inexperienced drivers, the British Prime Minister is looking at a tougher tiered licence. So yeah, that's probably saying learner drivers are on the lowest, and then when you've had, let's say, when you're 21 and have been driving for a long time, you're at the highest, and then as you get older, so let's say 50, 60, 70, then you go back down, because you remember next. Now, this is funny. The new Toyota Supra has been leaked by a Japanese magazine. And my immediate thoughts is that's very good looking. I mean, the front is nice. There's very lots going on at the front. We've got kind of this N shape, and the lights are pretty. It's very long front. I mean, you know, it looks very different from the original. I wouldn't have called it a Supra, but yeah, it's been released. Well, not released, but it's been leaked by a Japanese magazine, and there's even a racing version of it. So yeah, that'll be cool. The rear looks nice as well. I mean, it's not bad looking, but yeah, it's just good. There's more Japanese magazine, and yeah, so that's the new Toyota Supra that everyone's been waiting for, and it's cool. So that's Supra. So that must. Yeah, that Japanese magazine must have gotten a little bit of trouble saying, like, Toyota must have said, no, it's been released too soon, oh dear. Right, next up, this Bentley crash. Oh no, this speeding Bentley's huge crash shows unforgivable stupidity. Well, I'll be the judge of that. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry, I'm going to play that once more time, just because I was editing my size. Here we go. One more time, just because I want to see, did he show any signs of stopping or awareness? No! He just absolutely obliterated through that corner. How did he get a driver's license? That is shocking. Oh my goodness.
Emergency assistant.
And the speeding Bentley collides over 80 miles per hour. That is... Jesus Christ. Oh. £160,000. Goodness me. And that's where it happened on Google Maps. And then it just came there and crashed into there. Goodness me, that is unforgivable. Like, it's a small town, you're meant to go 30 miles per hour, and having such a luxury car, you've got to actually kind of give it some care. And I mean, if you want to do that to a Bentley, if you want to race around, either take it to the motorway, not the M25, because you'll be going 10 miles per hour, but take it either to a motorway or a racetrack. Not... Next. The Grand... Whoa, sorry about... The Grand Tour. So, I haven't watched it yet, so I'm not going to read any of the titles, but Grand Tour is on... has been filmed and is waiting on Netflix for me, so I'll probably do a review on that. But it's going to be a 2-part special where they go to Mozambique, which will be really, really fun. So I'll enjoy watching that, because I love it when the Grand Tour does specials and they kind of basically buy a really, really crappy little car for, let's say, £100, and then they have to go across Antarctica for it, or make it suitable so that it can go through a animal reserve. And this time they're going through Mozambique, which is really jungly, desert, and I've read from the kind of preview, they'll be helping people across Mozambique getting water, which is very, very nice. So that's always good. Now, interestingly, let's move that down a little bit. Bing. So basically, Fernando Alonso is a Spanish Formula 1 racing driver who's raced for McLaren for a couple of years now, and as you all know, McLaren have had some serious problems with Honda due to reliability and speed. So I think it was last year he did the Indy 500 instead of going to the Monaco Grand Prix. And from there he said, I really, really like other racing from Formula 1. I'm actually good at it. Unfortunately, at the Indy 500, his McLaren Honda, well no, it wasn't a McLaren Honda, it was a Honda Indy car. It broke down. And he was leading at one point, and then it broke down. So, yeah, he was sad about that. My man Button, my birthday buddy Jensen Button took his place at Monaco. Anyway, so the next year, start of this year, he took part in the Daytona 24 Hours, and he was put in an uncompetitive car. I mean, it was good, he led for a bit, but he was having problems. I think I've explained it before. And he said, I want to do more of this. So he said, can I do some races in the World Endurance Championship? So the World Endurance Championship said, yes, but we have to move a race. So because of Alonso, the WEC has had to move a race. And then because the WEC had to move a race for Alonso, the Super GT, which is basically Honda NSXs racing each other, the Super GT has had to move a race of its own. So, in theory, Alonso is the most powerful man in Formula 1, because he's moved 2 races. And interesting, ironically, Jensen Button is racing in the Super GT. Illuminati? I think not. Anyway, so Alonso's moved 2 races, the WEC and the Super GT. As you can see down here, this is Super GT. So, I mean, it's cars like the Honda NSX. I mean, my man Button is in a NSX, but you've got GTRs, Lexuses. But if I just write Jensen Button Super GT. No, he did. Did he do it last year? Let's just do 2018, just because it's. Oh no, he did it last year. Sorry, my apologies. So as you can see, yeah, he's in a Honda NSX, and that was his YouTube channel as well. So I showed you that a couple of days ago. So, oh yeah, and there's my man Jensen Button in Monaco. Anyway, so that was this week's car news, number 6. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a little bit shorter than usual because there hasn't really been much going on because it's not really the racing season. But when the Australian Grand Prix comes in less than a month or so, these videos will be, what, an hour or so? Anyway, thank you for watching. Sorry if it's a mess. These videos usually are. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you're new, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you like this week's car news, then let me know in the comments. And yeah, just calm, collected, and keep watching. That's all from me, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.